Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today we're going to talk about the 10 days of the Hijjah and what makes them so special. The Hijjah is the 12th month of the Hijri calendar, and in the first 10 days, these are the most important 10 days in existence. These days are blessed, and in them is Yawm Arafah and Hajj and Eid. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says about these 10 days, وَالْفَجْرِ وَلَيَالٍ عَشْرٍ, by the dawn and by the 10 nights. And the 10 nights here refer to the 10 days of the Hijjah. Of the blessings of these 10 days, the Prophet ﷺ mentioned, there are no days that are better in the sight of Allah and during which deeds are more beloved to Him than these 10 days. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ما من أيام أعظم عند الله ولا أحب إليه العمل فيهن من هذه الأيام العشر. And the Prophet ﷺ said in another statement, the best days in the world are the 10 days of the Hijjah. قال عليه الصلاة والسلام أفضل أيام الدنيا أيام العشر. And another hadith to tell us more about the significance of these 10 days. The Prophet ﷺ said, no good deeds done on other days are superior to those done on these first 10 days of the Hijjah. It was asked, not even jihad in the way of Allah? He said, not even jihad in the way of Allah. And so it's important for us to realize how valuable these days are and utilize them to the best of our ability. We're going to just mention a few actions or acts of worship that we can perform in these 10 days and hopefully maximize the benefit that we get out of them. So the first is fasting, and fasting on the day of Arafah. The Prophet ﷺ, he said that fasting on the day of Arafah, I hope from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala expiation for the sins of the year before and the year after. قال صلى الله عليه وسلم صيام يوم عرفة إني أحتسب على الله أن يكفر السنة التي قبله والتي بعده. Another is reciting the Quran. The Prophet ﷺ told us how we get 10 good deeds for each letter that we read from the Quran. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من قرأ حرفا من كتاب الله فله به حسنة والحسنة بعشر أمثالها. Another thing that's important is for us to pray in the masjid and to pray in jama'ah, because we know from the hadith that jama'ah gets about 27 times as much as praying alone. And praying on time, going early, are all ways to maximize the reward that you're gonna get from your prayer. Having khushu', praying with ihsan, all of those things. And another thing is donating to charity, helping those in need, birrul walidain, making sure you're good to your parents, make sure you have good manners with others. And inshallah, another thing we can do is seeking forgiveness, making tawbah, making istighfar, staying away from the haram, forbidding the evil, enjoining the good. There are so many things that we can do in these 10 days. And at the end of these 10 days, we're going to have Eid al-Adha. And Eid al-Adha is the 10th day of the Hijjah. And this is still part of the 10 days. So it's vital that we continue to perform acts of worship on Eid al-Adha. And another point is that Hajj happens in these 10 days. So it's a lot of the Hajjaj are, in Mecca, and they're trying to, they're going to be born anew like babies. And inshallah, all of us will be forgiven, and we're going to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for forgiveness. We want to utilize these 10 blessed days because there are no 10 days in the entire year like these 10 days. So I ask that all of us take advantage and maximize our worship. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept our efforts and grant us the ability to make the most of these days. Inshallah, ameen. جزاكم الله خيرا والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.